Hi, it's Susan Reynolds, your Karmic Astrologer, and I want to talk about the sign of the month for June. If you were born roughly between May 21st and June 20th, you're a Gemini. Gemini is a sign of the twins, duality, good and bad, light and dark, up and down. Gemini always has more than one thing going on. This is an air sign. Air sign is all about communication. Geminis love to talk and they can always keep a conversation going. And I'm not just speaking about voice to voice communication. They communicate through writing, they communicate on their computer, they communicate with phone calls, emails, iPad, YouTube, all the many, many different ways we have to communicate. Gemini loves to do all of them. This is a very gadget oriented sign. They're usually very technologically oriented. They know what to do. They want the latest phone. They want to upgrade their computer. They're onto the latest, whatever this site is, kind of thing. They're usually up with all of the latest social media stuff. This is a restless sign. A lot of young Geminis get diagnosed as ADHD because they're very restless. They can't sit still. Trying to keep a Gemini sitting still and being interested, full-time job, gotta tell you. So the parents of a Gemini child bring a lot for them to do in the car, because as soon as that car is pulling out of the parking lot, pulling out of your driveway, they're going to be saying, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Can we go yet? So yeah, they get bored much more quickly because their mind is so active. So you have to really work to engage with them, but they are so smart. Geminis usually start to speak early. They start to speak early and they start to ask why early, and then they never stop. It is as if Gemini never outgrows that why is the sky blue stage. They're always seeking another piece of information, seeking to understand. This is not a judgmental sign. They're asking you questions because they're interested. They really want to know. It's not so much that they want to judge it, they want to understand it. And they're wonderful at multitasking. Taurus is a sign that wants to focus on one thing. Gemini wants to focus on 20 things at the same time. So this can be the Gemini teenager that is supposed to do their homework, and they've got the phone going in one ear, they've got the computer on, they've got some sort of streaming something or other happening, and then they're like, what? I'm doing my homework. They're truly surprised that you might want them to turn off things and focus on something, because they can juggle multiple appointments, multiple projects. They're usually a couple of steps ahead of everybody. They learn quickly. And so sometimes they can be a little impatient if other people can't quite keep up with them. But very nice sign, very kind sign, but always very interesting. They always have something going on. They're always interested in other people. They often have a little trouble being on time for things. Gemini is usually juggling so many things, they're ready to cram 10 things into this space for one. And then something spills over and they're not quite there yet. And so they're running 20 minutes late all the time. But they're so engaging. They're so bright. They're so funny. They often make great mimics. They may keep you rolling in the aisles with an imitation of Aunt Ethel coming for dinner or something like that. They could do accents. Many Geminis speak multiple languages. They don't usually have to worry that much about Alzheimer's because the mind is always engaged with something. It doesn't matter whether it's 16, 60, 80, they're signing up for the next class, they're reading this book, they're mentally engaged. And it's restless. Some Geminis have trouble sleeping because, again, they have trouble getting their mind to turn off. So if you have a Gemini child, putting a bedtime routine in place is a good idea. Any Gemini can learn some breathing techniques to kind of calm down the mind, stilling the mind. Of all 12 of the zodiac signs, Gemini is the one that struggles the most with meditation. I had one Gemini tell me trying to meditate was like watching a monkey tear into a cupcake. They have a hard time doing that. So many Geminis do better with what I call moving meditation. They may do Tai Chi or garden to get into that meditative state. They don't have to do meditation by emptying their mind of everything and just focusing on one thing. That's especially difficult for them. So you have to give them a little leeway to find their own style of doing this. But because they get bored so quickly, if you're the parents of a Gemini, I would not invest in the new band equipment and the expensive whatever this is. Buy used. Give it a few years to see if they're really going to stay with something. They juggle, they move from one thing to the next thing. And sometimes parents are kind of hard on Gemini kids about that. Why can't you just stay with something? They're being true to themselves. Gemini is meant to explore, they're meant to learn, they're meant to seek the universe in their own way. So, this very exciting sign is coming into their own as we move into an almost month of having the sun be in Gemini. It is a time to learn. It is a time to explore. It is a time to talk, speak, share, communicate. So, welcome to June. If you want to hear more about what is going on in June, you can go to my website, exploreastrology.com. I'm Susan Reynolds, and I put out free predictions every month for every sign. Go on and see what June holds for you. Have a great month. Bye.